Hi dear students, welcome to our online classes for day 2, and today I'm here to brief you a few important points regarding unpaid seller and the rights. Unpaid seller and rights. To begin with, let's know who is an unpaid seller. In general, unpaid seller is the one who delivers the goods to a courier or a middleman or an agent for the purpose of transmission to the buyer without reserving the right of disposal of the goods. So, in short, we can say an unpaid seller is the one who delivers the goods to a courier. Courier is nothing but a transporter or a middleman or an agent. To transmit means to transfer the goods to buyer without reserving the rights of disposal of goods. This is a common general meaning of an unpaid seller. But according to section 47 of subsection 1, the unpaid seller is different because the Indian Sale of Goods Act 1930, Sale of Goods Act 1930 defines an unpaid seller is in possession of the goods who can retain their possession until the payment. Until the payment is to be underlined here in this section. So, this act says unpaid seller is in possession of the goods and can retain their possession until the payment is made. So, here in this note, an unpaid seller is possessing the goods. However, he can also retain that possession until the payment is made. Once the payment is made for the goods, he becomes the owner of the goods. But as long as the payment is not made, he can only possess the good, but the ownership of the particular good he is possessing cannot be transferred from the seller to the buyer. Hope this is clear for you. And if we look at certain rights of an unpaid seller, he will have two different types of rights. So, according to the same section of Sale of Goods Act 1930, right of lien and right of stoppage of goods in transit are important rights that unpaid seller will have. So, let's discuss about this. Right of unpaid seller. The first right of lien. According to the section 47 of subsection 1 of Goods Act 1930, in the following cases, the right of lien can be exercised by the seller. They are when he is selling the goods without any stipulation for credit. And the goods sold on credit, the goods are sold on credit. However, the credit term is expired. So, then when the buyer becomes insolvent. So, the right of lien according to section 47 of subsection 1, the Sale of Goods Act, under the following cases, the right of lien can be exercised by the seller. It is the time when he is selling the goods without any stipulation for credit. That means when a seller is selling the goods on normally a credit basis but not on 100% cash. And when the goods are sold on credit but the credit terms are expired, means the buyer failed to pay the money during the given credit period time. And in the third case, when the buyer becomes insolvent. This is one of the right the unpaid seller will possess according to Sale of Goods Act. Then the subsection 2 specifies that an unpaid seller can exercise his right of lien notwithstanding that he is in possession of the goods acting as an agent for the buyer. And the right of stoppage in transit, the second important right of the seller. Right of stoppage in transit. Normally, this right is an extension to the right of lien, and the right of stoppage in transit means an unpaid seller has the right to stop the goods while they are in transit, means the goods are already on the way to reach the doorsteps of the buyer for the possession and retains them till he receives the full price. This is called the goods in transit. Normally, the goods in transit means the seller puts the goods in a courier and it is in transit to reach the buyer's destination. And during this stage, the unpaid seller will have complete right to stop the goods which are in transit. So, if an unpaid seller has parted with the possession of goods, and when the buyer becomes insolvent, then the seller can ask the courier to return the goods back to him. Of course, again, this is subject to the provision of the Act. So, what exactly it means is, unpaid seller holds the right to stop the goods during the transit when buyer fails to pay the payment upon agreed payment terms. So, according to section 51, goods in the course of transit from the time the seller delivers them to a courier for transmission to the buyer until the buyer or his agent takes the delivery of the said goods. So, this transit scenarios are: once the goods reach the destination and the courier or a middleman informs the buyer or his agent that he holds the goods, then the transit ends. If the buyer refuses the goods and even the seller refuses to take them back, the transit is not in it. To make a clear understanding, let me put it in words here. Once the goods reach the destination and the courier, which also means a transporter or a middleman, informs the buyer or his agent that he holds the goods, then the transit ends. Unpaid seller loses the right to stop. Then the second case is, in few of the cases, the goods are delivered to the ship chartered by the buyer. Goods are shipped, which is chartered by the buyer.